How to not suck at Counter-Strike Go. Dust 2 offense tips. Dust 2 has a lot of offensive possibilities, so today we'll be covering some general offensive tips. For example, watching the middle doors here from your spawn is one of the most basic things you can do. It lets you call out where you see the enemy, so that lets your teammates know where to go and what they can do. However, one thing to note. Usually I see players calling out at the very start of a round and then immediately leaving. When you're playing at the higher level, it is expected that there will be a terrorist watching the middle here. So usually you'll have a CT waiting maybe behind that door or in their spawn or something to make a delayed movement to B or something like this. So as a general rule of thumb, I would say when you do callouts at the beginning of a round, do not immediately leave. Maybe wait a little bit longer and coordinate with your team. Maybe they need backup or something like this. Heading into B from the tunnels can be a traumatic experience if not executed correctly. You're going to want two players to lead the charge. So ideally you'll have one person on the left side here of the tunnel and one on the right. It's a good idea to throw a smoke straight ahead if you have one, because this blocks the vision of the person at the crates, and there is usually a person, down this straight. So the player on the left here, he or she will take a look at the window and this crate area here and maybe here as well, and the person on the right will be able to come around here, check the door quickly and check the car. Also, the person on the right should quickly, before turning right, so like this, you should quickly check the left before heading in this area, because sometimes there is a person waiting around here. Usually there isn't, it's an unorthodox spot, but that's exactly why you should check it. I like to stand there, for example, and it gets me a lot of cheap kills. So if you don't have a smoke grenade, there's no problem really. The two players down this hallway should just, clear this area straight ahead before moving on. So just to recap and summarize. You should have two leading players, one on the left, one on the right. The player on the left will be watching the window and crates. The player on the right will take a quick peek into this corner and then head towards the door and car. The upper tunnels are good for making a distraction. So let's say your team is actually heading into A, but you send one person into these tunnels. You can make a lot of noise with your footsteps, throw a lot of, smoke grenades, flashbangs, incendiary grenades into B. And, you can just make yourself look like a bigger force than you actually are and just create a nuisance for the enemy. Of course, it is important, not just in this case, but whenever you are in the tunnels, to check the right side here or have somebody check it, because sometimes CTs like to come up here and try to get some early kills. So, summary, you can get a lot of good decoy movement into these tunnels here if your team is actually heading into A. You can use grenades or just be loud with your footsteps. If for whatever reason you need to head into the middle doors here from B, it is a good idea to send out a flashbang before moving in, because there is usually a sniper here or there is somebody waiting in this corner. So always check your corner. If you don't have a flashbang, this is riskier, but you can still pull it off if you know what you're doing. So you can take a peek here, and if you see somebody there that's a sniper or something, maybe you run away if you don't want to engage them. But if it's clear, you get into position here. Actually, you check the corner first. Sorry, you always check the corner first. And then you can send out a smoke grenade over here just to cover your back as you approach into B. And usually there will be one person over here waiting for you to come down the middle. If you're going to the catwalk, it can be a good move to throw a smoke down here in the middle. So this prevents enemies from picking you off or something like this. However, the downside is that your team also cannot really watch the middle anymore. So make sure you coordinate with your team, because if somebody buys an expensive sniper to watch the double doors and you throw a smoke, then both of you have kind of wasted your equipment. Also, throwing a smoke down the middle can be an effective strategy, not just for when you're going to the catwalk, but in general. Of course, like I said, this prevents you from watching the double doors, but it can also create a lot of confusion for the enemy. Similarly to going into B, going up these stairs here is best done with two players. One on the left so that he or she can shoot the left area here, and one on the right so that he or she can check the right if necessary. You also need to be aware of this straight here, because there is sometimes a person over here. I recommend saving your grenades and just shooting the enemy here if you can make the shot. And then if you have smoke splashes or incendiary grenades, you can throw them over here, or over there, wherever you think the enemy is. But again, if possible, it is best to have two players push up here at the same time. Going into long A is a very tricky proposition if the other team knows what they're doing. you want to throw a flashbang in this general area just in case there is somebody waiting there. So when you're actually moving up, when you're going through the doors, you want to take a look over here, and then you also need to keep in mind this corner, so quickly check that. And then you head into over here, and enemies can be in a variety of spots. They can wait over here, they can wait down here, they can wait over there. So there are a lot of places that the enemy can wait, so you really need to be quick. You need to check your corners really quickly, and make sure you do not block this door for other people, because that always gets you killed. Once you actually make your way through here, then comes the part where you can get sniped from over there. So before just heading straight, before heading directly onto the straight, one of your players should really just check this area first. Also, there can be an enemy over here, so you need to keep in mind, keep your eye on that. And then when actually moving up, you want to throw a smoke in this section here, just to cover yourself if somebody is sniping from the middle. When you're actually up here, you need to watch the catwalk, because they can come through there, and you need to cover long A where you came from. And of course they can always come through the middle as well, so you need to be wary of that. That about sums it up for my Dust 2 general offensive tips. So thanks for watching as always, and please continue to show these videos to less experienced players. I've included a link in the description to the Steam Guides page for these videos, so you can check that out. And some of you have sent me video requests for, I believe it was for grenade videos and for location-based videos, so I will get to those soon. I just need to do a little bit more research and testing for those videos, just to make sure I don't screw anything up. So let's go electrocute some chickens.